Hello again, good morning. Again, this is John Edward Miranda, your instructor for IT01. Today we will be discussing chapter 2, which is going to be software. Last time we already discussed an introduction about ICT. We get to learn the different terminologies that we will be revisiting for this particular course. But today we will be discussing software. Okay? So hardware is actually in a separate chapter, so we will not going to be touching whatever is in hardware because I will be discussing that on a different video. But today we will be discussing software. Okay? Now it's actually good to actually differentiate the two so that we get to understand what are the differences. Okay. So if we talk about software, these are anything that is actually stored on a computer system. Okay. That means that we cannot touch them. Okay. All we have to do is to interact with them on a certain point by actually viewing them in a monitor. Okay. So examples of software includes your Microsoft Word, the games that you are playing, PowerPoint presentations, videos. These are considered to be software. Okay. And of course, that's the direct opposite of hardware. So hardware is actually tangible. That means that we can touch them. Okay. Examples of which are, of course, your keyboards, your monitors, your mouses, your speakers, your printers, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, computer software, um, this is actually considered to be as the heart of the operating system. Okay? Because without software, then we won't be able to use the computer itself, even if there are actually running keyboards, mouses, and so on and so forth. Okay. So there are different types of software here. We have system software, we have programming software, we have application software, open source software, and proprietary software. So when we talk about system software, these are basically your operating systems. Okay. So when we talk about operating system, this is actually what makes the computer works. So examples of operating system for you to be able to visualize this is Windows operating system. Okay. Now, if you purchase a computer on the market right now, it automatically comes with a Windows operating system, unless of course you buy that on Apple, because Apple has a different operating system and it's called Mac OS X or Macintosh Operating System X. That is the name of their operating system. There are many other operating systems as well. We have Linux, we have Debian, we have Red Hat, and all of these particular operating system has their own environment where you can actually install different applications as well. Okay. And it is the software that enables all programs that we use. Okay. So it's possible for us to access the games that we're playing, example, League of Legends, Mobile Legends. These are actually accessible because of operating system. So without operating system, these applications or these games are not going to run. Okay. And operating system also acts as an intermediary between the application and then the machine. So it acts as a mediator for the programs to run. Okay, so that's it. Now we also have application software, but I think I forgot to include here programming software. So let's discuss programming software first. Now there are many other programming softwares that we actually use. Programming software are basically your software so that you can develop another software. Because without programming software programs, it's not possible for us to create many different software applications. Okay? So um, computer programmers are actually learning many different software applications or software programming software applications, examples of which are your C++. We also have for Android, we have Eclipse, where you can actually code using Java. And for web designers, they're actually using HTML codes wherein they run JavaScript, cascading spreadsheets or CSS, and they are also using PHP for them to be able to create stunning websites. Okay, so these are actually the programming applications that we use as programmers for us to create many different softwares as well. Okay, so there are many different platforms for programming softwares. We have Enterprise Edition, we have Standard Edition, and we have Mobile Edition. Okay, so for Enterprise Edition, there are many different softwares that we can create for this. Examples are information systems. Examples of information systems, of course, we have your portal for ICCT. That's an example of a software that we have created for you to be able to view your grades, your subjects, your teachers, your schedule at PAR. Okay, and there are many others like the point of sale systems. That's for entrepreneurs for them to be able to track their sales in a day-to-day basis, in a monthly basis, or in a weekly basis, depending on the report generation that is actually featured on a particular point of sale program. Okay, so those are examples of enterprise. We also have standard edition. So standard edition, these are where you can create your um, different applications that can be used to actually solve a problem. So example of which are actually automating manual device or manual processes. For example, if we are having problems in actually registering on a certain school, or let's just say the enrollment process. Okay, so an enrollment process, you can actually enroll now by online, or you can actually go to the school to enroll personally. But basically, if you wanted to avoid hassle in lining up, you can actually do that online, and that's already considered to be an automation for a manual process, which is done by writing on a paper. um, it's actually just being translated online, which is known to be automation. So you can already fill out your details online for you to be able to provide your information necessary for the enrollment process to happen. Okay. So those are the things that can be done when it comes to standard edition. And of course, your mobile edition, where you can create many different applications for Android operating system, or in iOS, which is mobile operating system for Apple phones. And you can actually create many different games there. Just like your Mobile Legends, those games are created for the mobile edition, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's programming software. Okay, now let's go back and check application software. So application software here, these are software includes programs to do the real work for the users. Okay, now examples of which I've provided here, we have your word processing applications like your Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, your virtual games, and even online banking, which is being used now, your Gcash, your Paymaya, your Bitcoin, and whatever applications that you are using, because it makes our lives easier. Instead of you going to the bank to bank transfer, you can already do that in just one tick of your hand. You can already transfer funds. Okay. And we also have your word processors. Of course, you're already familiar with this. We have Microsoft Word for this, where you can actually spell check, standard layouts for normal documents, print and save the document. Okay. So basically, you guys are already well versed with this, so I will no longer elaborate this for you. And of course, we have your spreadsheet, your Excel. You're already familiar with this. We're actually using this to actually compute your grades, but can also be used to create budgets, payrolls, and address lists. Graphic presentations, which is I'm using right now. This is Microsoft PowerPoint. There are also many other platforms like your Google Slides, your Prezi, your Canva. So you can do so many graphic presentations right now, aside from, of course, PowerPoint. And we also have open source software. So when we talk about OSS, these are your open source softwares where you don't need to pay for it, it's you for you to be able to use it. Examples of which are your Android operating systems and Linux operating systems. So most of the applications here are actually free. So examples of free applications, we have your Mobile Legends. You can download them in just one click without paying anything. Of course, if you wanted to buy a skin, then you have to pay for that. But just for you to be able to experience the application itself, it's free to play. Okay, so that's an example of an open source software. And of course, we have proprietary software. So proprietary software, these are non-free. So it's a direct opposite of the open source software or the OSS. So proprietary software, these are the software that you need to pay for you to be able to access them. So example, we have uh, let's see, Minecraft. I think Minecraft, you cannot play that without paying for the application, and many other things that you can actually check on your Google Play Store or in your Apple Play Store. If it requires you to pay something, then that's already considered to be a proprietary software because it's non-free. Okay? So I think this is the last slide. So I will be discussing hardware next meeting. I will see you all next meeting. Okay. Have a great day.
For more ICCT College's video updates, please subscribe and click the notification button.